the other, like, okay, they don't have to go further down the tier list. Just the Orianna early. Okay, so let me say though, Faker had a pretty good Akali already at the tournament, and that was fun to watch, but we might get some more standard stuff. All right, early Aurora flex pick, but Aurora Wukong, we just saw, or we didn't just see it, but on opposite sides. It is still a very good combination to work together. Of course, really good dive, really good pincer movement from these two. My personal favorite jungle at the moment is the Wukong, and so getting Oner, one of these primary picks, is huge. He has just been so big through this split for T1, even though he's had a couple of speed bumps here at the tournament so far. He did run into a little bit of a speed bump. Canyon, though, answer with the Xin immediately.
Yeah, so good pairing on the other side at least. Get what you can. Now the biggest question is it going to be something like the Rumble for top? Because the partnership with Orianna, with Zhao, or Wukong in certain cases, has been so good. But Sion has as well. And for Kiin, seeing him on tanks already, it's been his Kiin Sante. It's been the Ambessa.
Yeah, Sion lock-in would be good, get that really valuable front line. Sion is just an insane champ right now, and provides a lot of value with the possibilities of lane swaps especially.
True.
And lane swaps being so prevalent, this always gives you more options. Yeah, Ambessa, Rumble, those types of things, always pretty happy to pick into it. And so we do get Doran Ambessa. This has been one of the champions that he has been able to actually carry games on. So let's see as we progress. It's going to be T1 themselves banning out the Xayah because they're the ones running the dive comp.
Yep.
And so they want to remove the easy safety from Ruler.
Maybe then we start questioning things like Ezreal, but when you see Sion on the other side, that might fall out of the wayside again. We've had problems with seeing Ezreals into hard tanks, but remember things like the Caitlyn's still up available, no longer. Gen.G going to ban that away first. And the 80 carry pool getting real slim real fast.
Yeah, Guma definitely renowned. Caitlyn, he also pulled out the Ashe. They got the Ashe buffs on the patch and is pretty good if an opponent tries to lane swap on you. Ashe also, the kiting, very, very effective. So let's see here. Gen.G gonna whittle a little bit further down on that pool as well. Ruler's Lucian taken out for the mid game.
Are we gonna start talking about Corki again? Because I'm thinking about mobile 80 carries for Guma. Away from things like Xin, from Orianna, from this lockdown front to back that's building.
Yeah, and they are looking with a dive comp, so things that will help a dive comp.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sivir or Kaisa type stuff, but Guma is just not a Kaisa player, so you don't have to worry about that versus him. Don't have to drop any resources there, and so they ban the Sivir instead.
So as I go through, it's only been the Xayah, the Caitlyn so far, at least in the Swiss stage here for T1. We're about to find out now. It could also be an early support. We've run out of time.
I mean, Jin is something you always think about with Guma. That is like something that can play with dive comps because you stand further back and you can land long range. But
so it shouldn't really come as a surprise. But I like the fact that Busio was talking a little bit earlier. Oh, I don't need to yap anymore. The captain can take it back.
Jake, Chovy, take it away. Your turn to yap.
Woohoo! All right. So we get back into the controversial draft here.
Controversial.
I mean, yeah, the Faker Aurora. We'll see though. Okay, so we catch back up. All the 80 carry bands come right back through. All right, what is it going to be Guma here? Because I assume they're going to say, okay, so they slam the Kaisa.
Okay.
Here we go. This one for the long history. Has been one of the champions that Guma has been, trying to add to the roster. Ox, as Ox is saying, recently did add, and here we go. They're going to go with the full dive comp and display it on the world's stage.
You get Corki on the other side. This was also discussed as well. It felt like the best 80 carry left in the pool outside of the Kaisa question mark. Poppy locked into the Kaisa. Are T1 going to lock the Alistar anyway?
Instantly.
A lot of dash going into that set, Poppy.
Certainly is. I like how quickly we finished the picks and pens.
They just want to get
had
to the
a lot
game.
of time to think this through and finish up those ones. I do like it from Gen.G. Honestly, I do favor the Gen.G draft here. I mean, even before the Corki and Poppy, but the Corki and Poppy also round it out super nicely. You get safety for Ruler, you get the Poppy steal away, deny it from Keria, also interrupt literally every champion on T1. This Duro Poppy value is gotta be like maximum Poppy value that you ever get. Plus, Gen.G have the mega tank of the patch, Sion here, the GOAT on the front line. So really do like this look from Gen.G. But T1, we got, you know, this dive comp, this spicy comp that you can look to try and create plays with here. So let's see if they can do it.
Single game, single best of one. I mean, it's not what they're used to, but in the second time ever, T1 and Gen.G will head onto the Rift for about 30 to 40 minutes and then go home for the day. But the winner will move up into best of threes. And while the loser will do the same, they will then be on elimination point for those said best of threes. And what's crazy for all those teams down there is that they'll face up against either T1 or Gen.G to keep their dreams at Worlds alive. It is such a fun position for our tournament, considering that our 1-1 teams, 4 out of 6 of them in the total of today, have either a domestic championship or a world title of some sort. MSI for Gen.G, T1, defending world champions. They're about to head onto the Rift. Thank you for waiting with us. Your reward is now as we get onto Summoner's Rift.
Ruler Corki, 14-4. Career record on the champion.
Oh, damn. While Guma's Kaisa is 10-18. So for Guma today, let's find out if it's a redemption arc on this champion and how the learning is going for him as well. Now, standard lane so far, Chovy, we did talk about the potential with this Sion as great damage thanks to the shield from Kiin with the W start here. If there was going to be a lane swap, was my meaning, but it is pretty standard for the Sion. He's flexible either way. I think especially for Doran, he wants to be in this 1v1. We'll see.
Yeah, topside down start for both junglers to look to influence, and brush camp for Gen.G. Do they get any value here, any early burst?
Not quite. Good.
Minute.
Yeah, very small. Buckler thrown out as well. Level 1 Alistar, classic as the rush for level 2 will begin. Jungler starting top.
Yeah, Kaisa and Alistar not super strong early on, obviously. And Keria is still going to try and go for the headbutt here, and they are going to give up a little bit of the brush control. T1 with the very close brush ward here on their side, but still going to have to cede the level 2 push quite probably. Maybe not. Evened it out.
Yeah, matched in the end. Duro still just sending it into Guma. Shield denied, but still Guma stepping up to the wave. It seems harder and harder. Great block. There's that Poppy interaction, and we're going to expect a lot of that barrier for barrier and heal as well. Ruler outpaces the pulverize from Keria, and Gen.G come out slightly ahead, but Keria also has that triumphant roar that is going to help with some of the sustain.
Yeah, he has the extra sustain with both sides using their barriers and heals. The combat summoners invested in the trade down there. Speaking of the trade.
Nice sidestepping from Chovy, at least getting 1 out of the 2. Half HP for both mid laners, as Kiin's going to get a deep ward as we look at the picture-in-picture. Is that what we call this? Picture-in-picture.
True, I like that. It's everybody knows what you mean.
Tri-cam?
The tri-cam. I like the tri-lane cam.
Yeah, okay.
That's clean. You get to see who's pushing who. Junglers on bottom side as well. So the kind of scraps on bottom side are going to be meaningful, but nobody too low, even though we did get all the combat summoners used down there. So see if Xin and Wukong, as they finish up their last camps, can throw anything into it. But quite probably just going to be a bottom side Scuttle Crab there for Oner on the Wukong, and Canyon traversing up towards the other side to trade instead, as the T1 bottom lane has pushed back out.
So it's going to be a slower early game. We'll wait for these ultis, and around grubs usually. Seems to be quite a bit of contest in Worlds so far. Kiin with a good decimating smash onto Doran. He gets his grasp.
Yeah, and his
Pace
jungle.
a little bit.
Canyon's here.
All it takes is one flash in. Doran has to time this perfectly to get away. Decimating smash first, and there we go. Wind becomes lightning after the audacious charge. Canyon does some damage, and Doran down a flash.
Yeah, efficient stuff here from Canyon. You know, second respawns of camps are not coming up just quite yet, so he has plenty of time, get his recall off, go right back into his next clear. Doran, no flash off the top side and teleporting right back out. Kiin also had a bunch of minions in front of tower to clean up, so
Fake up.
Kiin doing really well with the CS at the moment.
Didn't want to flash there in mid, was worried that Faker was going to send out the twofold hex with the mana he had left and look for the solo kill, but Chovy gets away. Teleport back in. Faker will probably do the same after he gets the push here, and both TPs will be down. As Faker maintains right now a small CS lead, but he's also pushing in the wave. As Chovy, you can see on the minimap, sends it back. We are looking at bot just simply because right now, Ruler and Duro are trying to send it, but Gumayusi and Keria holding to the back of their minion wave, playing as safe as they can for the disengage.
Yep, Doran trying to pass through here, see if he can get... oh, he didn't pull the wave really much there. He's going to cancel the recall then instead. But Kiin is doing so well. This is one of the things about Kiin. Like, he can play literally any type of top lane champion and plays it super well. So he goes back and he gets his Bramble Vest purchase on Sion. Really effective here versus the Grasp and Ambessa. Meanwhile, bottom side.
Yeah, we're just, again, just playing a little bit frisky on the edge here.
They did see Canyon on that ward. That ward by Raptors saw him, so T1 know he's on the way.
Keria's looking for the ward deep just to get that timing right as well. And Canyon backs off though from the try rush. He's also got Krugs to take, and half the way to level 6. Canyon is trying to skyrocket match Oner here, who's also doing the same thing. Bottom side for the Gromp, and remember that dragon has well and truly spawned, so T1 with getting a bit of a push here might think about their options of starting this beast.
All right, on Vision, I think that they should just be able to get it. Gen.G play a little bit for the later game. So T1 finish this one up. Pushing in, Doran pushing in, or Kiin pushing in Doran on the top side as well. So after top side Scuttle Crab, let's see what Canyon will do with his extra time.
Go for the invade on Raptors. Timing is close as...
Yeah, probably get the ward just there.
Yeah.
Scuttle Crab first.
And go in. First dragon of the game goes to T1. As bot gets a push in here, but it is a cannon wave, so Ruler won't lose a thing.
Again, this Gen.G comp does scale quite nicely. Beefy Sion. We've seen Sion just have so much success at this tournament.
That's a good champ right now, hey?
Yeah, value of the front line has been huge. Teamfight's pretty straightforward.
His laning phase also, like, who punishes it these days? You know, Doran picked this pick into it, but obviously we've been swapping around, but yes, great wave clear. He's got a shield, and he has mobility because of his ult, plus a great engage tool on top of the one he already has. Also picked up a Bramble Vest here too, by the way, so early AD damage from this Ambessa. Guessing the Grasp healing ain't going to be as good, but just a flat armor as well feels nice.
All right, Spellbook teleport here out for Duro to arrive a little bit ahead of Ruler, but they will match on the top side.
Every time. It's going to be happening.
It is just such a good answer. The Poppy value in this game, as we said in Champion Select, it's just going to be massive.
Yep.
Every single champion on the T1 side can get interrupted, so Duro here could be a star for the team, and he has really turned out to be just such a magnificent pickup for Gen.G.
Yeah.
You know, this year, this lineup that just has so many stars on it. And then for Duro to also turn into such a huge star. Canyon, though, meets up with Chovy mid to defend the pink. Unable to do so.
It's grubs in 1 second that have now just spawned. One of the support's big part to play. Glazing Duro, I think the whole year has just been glazing this guy who has looked like peak League of Legends support. As Keria steps into the hammer shock. Half HP now. Gen.G have better health bars here for the top side. Oner does have the ulti available now, though, which is going to make a big difference. As Duro looks to face check, sees him in the brush, and grubs start.
All right, Sion's heading up. You can look at the river here. So they're threatening the Kiin ultimate, the Sion drive-by. Meanwhile, Doran is just pushing another wave. The pink comes through.
Ulti there, melee range. Kiin won't get the decimating smash. Faker gets out there with the twofold hex, and or rather just the jump away. Now that that's there, Faker low on mana, so I think the message is still sent. Gen.G will, regardless, pick up 3 grubs.
And the price is that minion wave that Doran's able to push into the tower. Yeah, the entire thing here going to go into the dirt. So a little bit of a price there, but 3 grubs picked up for Gen.G to help with their turret plate efforts, trying to mine some extra money here. Meanwhile, the expenditure of that Sion ultimate, not the biggest steal, but a little bit of a something there. Tiny cooldown.
Something to get back to lane. You know, on Desto talking a little bit about this matchup through mid, I mean, we are seeing a bit more of it, that there's been attention from supports, from jungles just hovering around the area, but Chovy in isolation, he's got a CS lead for a reason. People are thinking this Aurora is an answer, and so far it really hasn't shown that.
Yeah. Hard to answer Chovy the player.
That is also
as well
a good caveat.
Chovy the player, one of the very best ever, and especially in laning. Let's see Duro's pass here through, though. It does find Keria and leaves over the extra vision. So nice methodical sweep here from Gen.G to get their shallow vision through the blue quadrant of the jungle.
Was able to do that because of the poke on Guma as well. A side note, actually forced the base here as Duro is caught napping by Keria. Small interrupt there too as Rule's going to get this push in and find good base timing. And throughout all, Gen.G, their lanes, everything's looking real good. CS lead through mid, through bot.
Yeah.
These are strong parts right now, showing why Gen.G's laning is superb.
Yeah, and Faker's lane phase has been the area that has been a bit rough as well. So he's really taken to a lot of playmaking. I mean, he always has, but also, you know, sacrificing waves towards mid to look for side lane plays. So maybe we'll see him try and use one of the famed Aurora, you know, side lane plays, try and get a flank down there, mess with the bottom lane or something, but nothing opened up quite yet. And Chovy here, just chovying away. 112 so far.
Not bad.
11 minutes. So it is over the
over the threshold.
Bottom side though.
Yeah, Guma's getting ganked on. Canyon already got the flash out of Guma. Second skin is greater. Rather, the killer instinct just buys him a bit of space. And while Canyon's gank is not that successful, you got a lot out of the AD carry right before Dragon spawns.
Yeah, early positioning here for Gen.G does make it really hard for T1 to try and enter. And so they decide we won't try and enter at all. We will sacrifice the Dragon, and we'll send Oner up towards topside. Doran is working away, trying to soften up the Sion. He does, but what is Oner going to do about this timing window? Just drops off the control ward and gets the camp timings here a little bit just to see that they are all empty.
Is that going to translate into anything when Chovy has consistently had pressure through mid, still has his flash up and available, and he's going the Rod of Ages build, so becomes that little bit harder to kill every minute that goes on. For Chovy, the zoning on Faker, he sits in, he command attacks, and then he moves the ball right into Faker's line of sight. 25 CS right now is the difference. And Faker's struggling to walk towards this wave to pick up the CS.
Yeah, the Orianna W nerfs didn't really stop any of the mid laners from slamming the champ early. Just max Q
Max
first.
Q, what we run?
Instead, get more ball movement.
You gotta love it. Chovy, he's gonna get the push in now. And why mid is so important is because this might just lead into a plate, and absolutely will, with triple grub. Orianna feels nice with that clockwork wind up on turrets too, and 1,000 gold lead for Gen.G. This is a slow game for our viewers at home, and you might be like, you know, come on, do something. But it's Gen.G just being clinical.
I think we'll see on one item breakpoints here for T1, them decide to do something. Because, you know, Wukong really does need the Trinity Force.
Yep.
So as soon as they start to get their one items in, then you can start to look for, you know, those engaged plays. And they do have a heavy dive comp here. So you have to make those plays really count. You have to be very careful about the setup for it.
True.
Get some wards here. Keria very good at some of this early reconnaissance, trying to get those wards down, get some information, some extra angles here for T1 to try and make their play on. But it is just crazy even that, you know, one of these two teams is going to go down to the 1-2 bracket, and just there's just going to be an extremely fearsome opponent down there for everybody else to have to deal with, as we are in our 1-1 bracket at the moment, and then these two kind of juggernauts meeting up.
This is what, when everyone thinks of LCK, this is what they see. This is what they think of. This classic, first 14 minutes, no kills, setting up for something big. Maybe we change that now. Doran in a 1v2 is going to ult the out, but the flash is matched by Kiin. A close call, but the Drayhound step is stepping it right back home until Canyon flashes, looks for the 3 Talon strike. He's so close to getting it, but Doran has enough energy in the tank to step one more time. The real dancer is Doran in this game as top lane Geng in return onto Chovy. Shockwave brings him in. He flashes away. No kills yet, but some close calls.
And a lot of flashes blown. 2 for 1 for Doran on the bottom side. Both Kiin and Canyon invest theirs, and they cannot kill Doran's Ambessa. Top side, though, it is another trade. And the gank attempt on Chovy, investing the Wukong ultimate, does get the flash out of the Orianna, and that is one you look to repeat punish.
Yep.
While Orianna is very popular right now, her weakness being low mobility with no flash is definitely something that this dive comp will want to try and prey on. They have a lot of ultimates for T1. Once those come back up, they can try and put extra pressure on that Ori.
Try and get Chovy away, as you saw on the Coinbase gold grind there. Quick side note, Herald is up and triple flash for Gen.G down as they start this off. Maybe a window for T1 to punish, but you were talking about the ultis. It's also a really good side note.
Yeah, let's see as they kind of work their way over, clear out the vision first. We might get our first full 5-on-5. We've got Kiin here, the giant tank, able to easily face check. Plus the Poppy here, Duro, W, ready to use.
Back at burst. He's in the pit by himself, though. Keria's here to help out as Weeding gets him out of there quick. Ward will give full insight for T1, but 4 members now in this choke as Gen.G group on up are having trouble entering until Keria pops the ghost. Our first fight, you say, maybe it's there. Doran sent away with the keeper's verdict. Faker at half HP already gets the burst down only onto Duro as second skin starts piling up for Guma, but Herald is already gone. T1 back off. The fight was open and then closed.
Poppy ultimate from Duro gets 1. That delays long enough, and Gen.G get the objective again. That is going to give them the 3 objectives, Dragon, Grubs, and the Herald for themselves. Progressing quite nicely.
Goal lead on Chovy as well, by the way.
Yeah,
Hot damn.
169 CS, over 16 minutes here. Still keeping up with that mark. But that being said, Ruler on Corki is going to be a problem. He's even surpassing Chovy CS.
That's crazy.
On this champion. And remember, 14-4 career here for Ruler on Corki. Has been spamming it, has the red buff. Ruler just really has had such an amazing split. Really good MSI as well from him. Insane stuff. Let's see with the teleports. Gen.G coming down to fight the dragon fight.
Angles are important. Chovy stepping in now as well. His flash still not up and available as Herald is dropped mid, just to give a pressure point for Gen.G to play through to get this second dragon of theirs. But even the damage on the turret is going to be really impactful, especially with 3 grubs. That'll open up mid. And Dragon for T1 isn't started yet. Guma gets away. Wind becomes lightning, tags him, but there's no dive under turret as Gen.G have gotten themselves more gold in the tank to play around this dragon.
Yeah, they guarantee themselves mid priority. Now they can go try and deal with the bot side push. Kiin walking to face check inside try.
He's taking some damage. Doran is pretty healthy himself though. Oner looking for an angle. Keria as well. Blast cones denied as Guma has to try and come in. But for T1, they don't have their AD carry. He's separated towards mid.
All right, flank around the side from Doran. Oh, Guma!
Keria, 3-man pulverize almost. Ruler disappears as well, but Faker, as he jumps into the whole team, makes a crucial mistake. Doran now comes in, gets a flash out of Ruler, reposition from Gumayusi, a 5-man cyclone. Oner finds the angle, but it's too late in the fight. Gen.G have annihilated T1 as Guma runs for his life, but he's tagged once again. Gen.G have 4 members on the run, and Guma is left alone. This turret won't withstand, and it won't get a kill in return, maybe, as Chovy, no! Command, protect! Chovy survives!
And Gen.G only lose 1 player in the fight. T1 tried to flank around from 4 different angles there, Hysterics. They had Guma coming from mid lane, Doran coming from behind the dragon, Faker goes right up through the river here, and as they go for engage, It is Keria getting the knockup. Veigar tries to ult in, and then he takes his Aurora ultimate to the other side. As you say, he got popped instantly. Plus Doran also, the Ambessa ult did not connect for him either. So the engage for T1 goes about as poorly as it possibly could, and Gen.G collect so huge. They were already earning their own large leads just through laning phase. Now after this team fight, you have to feel like that is just going to close the door on T1. The draft already was looking really good for Gen.G.
Oh yeah.
The early lanes played looking really good for Gen.G. And that dragon fight as well, huge stuff now. So see how they can kind of progress forward. Again, this comp is very straightforward. You saw how they just all kind of coalesced together, able to protect for a decently long time, even though...
Hang on, Doran has to flash away. How are you going to protect this game from speeding up? Gen.G got so many resources with one single play, and as you said, it's burst wide open now.
Your boy Chovy has 2 items, 8 stacks on his Dark Seal. His Rod of Ages is almost done stacking, almost going to tick over and get the extra level. So it's looking scary.
Yeah, he's not the only one as well, right? Even in that last fight, Ruler did quite a lot of damage for someone that's the only one behind Guma in this game, but still, the CS margin, the Trinity Force, we're now on Atacon. It feels like T1 need to try and survive this early game and get through to Gen.G somehow.
They certainly do. All right, T1, they started up, but Kiin,
the angle, the flash, Duro finds a wall, and Doran can't ult to get on out. The dive-in's easy, and Canyon sets up Ruler for success.
Oh, Duro, that was beautiful. They just destroyed. Doran is deleted, and nobody on Gen.G even has a scratch on them. Okay, Duro's got a little bit of a scratch.
All the setup again. Duro goes in deep, but Oner already getting chunked out alongside Keria. Atacon at 5, the dive in there as Canyon once again finds a new target. Keria burst down, the unbreakable will was finally broken. And with Redemption coming down, what do you say? A shockwave into Guma, Duro given a wall, a double for Chovy as Faker finally gets something back for T1, but Atacon just fell. There's Gen.G coming in from over the wall. Faker's got no mana to survive. His weirding isn't weird enough. And as Ruler takes him down, it's Oner tagged out by Canyon. The jungler's fighting out with Cyclone to negate the audacious charge, but once again the cooldown's up, and Canyon sends Oner packing with the rest of T1.
And we are witnessing Gen.G domination on the Rift. Atacon picked up as well as the extra kills. T1 bleeding gold.
And the opportunities are few and far between, right? Around Atacon, they tried to send it here, but the debuff is just helping Gen.G.
I think T1 are really just feeling a bit desperate. They're feeling the pressure. Duro not feeling the pressure at all. He gets the charge into Doran on the sidewall. Kiin channels right off of it, and it is a beautiful pick from Gen.G. Then they control the tri-brush. Duro's able to get out with his W afterwards. He just gets Keria's ultimate there. And before the ultimate even falls off, Gen.G are like, all right, it's fine. We'll just continue to press. Kill the Keria anyway. Redemption here to heal back up. They take Atacon while they go for the chase, hitting the shockwave. It's just like Gen.G are making plays, simultaneous plays in 2 different areas at once.
It's amazing seeing the quality of this performance from Gen.G again. Restore some of the faith that maybe was lost when they dropped down to the 1-1 bracket as well. As Ruler, he's now picked up the Manamune, or rather stacked it fully. Keria comes in, no time to talk about items as T1 look for the pick. Onto Canyon at half HP, Oner jumps in, but his ulti comes first. Canyon survived, and Doran's coming in, but interrupted. This poppy pick was a stroke of genius. There's no vindication for Guma, none for T1 here, as they are getting destroyed by the LCK champions, stamping their foot back at Worlds. Faker will disengage, but Canyon, Duro have more in the tank to flash forward. The shockwave was still available. Chovy is gapping the GOAT of League.
I think we know where this one's headed. Hysterics. There was only one other best of one between Gen.G and T1. Gen.G won the previous one as well. And they look to continue that trend.
Kiin's going to run it up a side lane. It's not even time for Baron. It's 23 minutes into the game, but it is a 9.5k gold lead in Gen.G's favor. A dragon on the way, and it just happens to be a Mountain Soul to add more injury to this already bruised knee.
Yeah, all right, let's take a look at it. They're definitely having some fun on the Rift there now. Redemption comes down, but look at all that damage even before the rest of them arrive. So low, and as Doran goes in, Guma tries to follow. The Poppy is in his face already, though, and Duro's W sits him down.
Fake at the last runaway. He'll die here eventually as well as we watch Chovy. He's POV pretty much for a bird's eye view to kill Faker. This dragon down.
Wave.
I mean, Chovy's been super clean this game. We highlighted him for his lane, but what more do you expect? This guy's great.
All of Gen.G have. Their draft was exquisite, but they have also, on top of that, executed in-game and outplayed.
I'd be curious to hear as well, because I feel like, you know, we not only got Canyon covering all bases, but then again, actually, I'm going to correct myself, Kobe. It feels like not much had to be done when you had such exquisite lanes in all three calibers, in all three lanes, I should say. As now Chovy, he's got his Magi's, he's upgraded. He's got a Seekers in the inventory as well. 3.7K of that almost 10K gold lead is coming from mid lane.
And I do like that he went the more damage focus. You know, we have been seeing a lot of Seraphs as well on some of the Oriannas, but the Horizon focus buffs as we're getting more action.
Got Brave Keria, turns it into an engage. Oner as well, Cyclone a chance, but a disengage from Duro. It's Keeper's verdict, kept good. Doran jumps in, maybe a chance here for T1, but with that dive comes Canyon to defend. Guma trying as hard as he can, but as he takes down Ruler, he takes down his chances of finding anything more.
Yeah, that's going to be Gen.G Baron. Can they sniff out Oner? Oner here, the last one left alive.
Against the Poppy, how hard is it with the exhaust down as well? And a decimating smash from Kiin. He'll send Oner back to his base one way or another. Baron's going to be taken. It'll be past 10K. And Gen.G are putting the finishing touches on this best of one to keep their BO1 record exceptionally clean.
Gen.G wearing purple, 11,500 gold lead for the team. Dragon Soul in 3 minutes, 20 seconds on the table, and they might not even need it.
This is a good sign for the Gen.G faithful as well. Easy to say they were favorites for the tournament. They still are, even being in this position, even before they started playing today.
Yeah. 20 stacks on the Magi's for Chovy
After
here as well.
One
Again,
fight.
the Horizon focus is interesting because it kept on, you know, they clearly wanted people to buy this item, so they kept on buffing the stats on it.
Yeah.
And 125 ability power with the 25 ability haste is just, it is a stat stick. And
outside of Rabadons, we don't have anything that heavy.
Yeah, seeing some good damage out of it. A pretty good, like, I feel like second item is a good position in the build for it, but regardless, that is not really important for this game because they are stomping regardless. Baron buff is going to allow the siege for Gen.G to run right into these inhibitor towers.
T1 struggling to step up. Relies on a pick, but 12,000 gold behind. They need some kind of a miracle fight. Oner's looking for that with his angle, but he's going to go over control ward shortly as he gets around the corner. Kiin is soloing mid. Here comes Oner. Again, the Ambessa all followed up as well. A chance there, but the shockwave nullifies everything. Ruler willing to Valkyrie forward. He knows this one's in the bin. Gen.G are the LCK's best, and they just showed it again to T1.
And Ruler at Worlds flashing the Samsung Galaxy flare as well.
Kobe, it was well-deserved, it was well-played lanes, it was Gen.G returning to form as they moved to 2-1 at Worlds 25.
Ooh, Ruler wants another championship. You can feel it. And this Gen.G team looking like they might be able to get there. They came in as tournament favorites, of course, and this is just the best of one, but they look quite good.
They really did. Once they found one fight in the game around bot, the game snowballed out of there as the analyst that's going to break it down further.
Important data point in this historic rivalry is we've seen almost no single games between these teams, but it turns out in a single game, Gen.G are pretty scary.
They locked in. They really locked in.